Good afternoon, America. Today is Wednesday, August the 1st, and it is 12:06. And we're going to do Psalms 127 today. Um, it is a very, very short song written by King Solomon himself. It has only two colors in it. That is pink for witnessing and yellow for family. It has 5 verses and talks about one particular subject. It talks about children. Children are a blessing to their parents, to their grandparents, to every other family member, but they're even more important to God than they are to parents. They are his reward. Okay, so that makes them very, very important to him as well. So we're gonna be learning about that today in this very short song written by King Solomon. Children are a blessing from the Lord. Yes, they are a blessing to their parents from the Lord, but initially they are also the Lord's reward. Okay, so that makes them even more special. A song of degrees for Solomon. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. So what that means that if you're building a house and the Lord is not in your plans, then you will not be able to accomplish that goal of building or finishing that house. That's what they say. Except the Lord build the house, they labored in vain that build it. Okay? Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. So the Lord is the one that keeps us. He's the one that keeps the sun coming, the rain. He keeps the moon at night. He keeps the air where we can use it. He keeps our enemies at bay. He does a lot for us that we don't give him credit for. So if he does not do his part, we are done. Because we cannot look after the earth like he does. He doesn't just look after families, communities, states. He looks out after the whole entire world, even the parts of the world that we are not familiar with. He is the keeper of them as well. So except he be with us, we being on our own, we're doomed. Okay? On our own would mean no sunlight, no good air, nothing. On our own. Okay? So except the Lord build a house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. Verse 2. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. It is vain for you to worry. It is vain for you to consider what you will do tomorrow, when today has enough troubles of its own. You should stay in your today every day. Whatever is for tomorrow, you can address it tomorrow. Whatever is for next week, you can deal with it next week. But just for today, you will be concerned about just the issues of today. Okay? That's what that means. Just be concerned about going or getting through this day. And when tomorrow comes, you deal with tomorrow. Okay? So it is vain. It is vain for you to wake up early, to sit up late, or to eat bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. Also, it is also vain for you to say, I hear people say this all the time, I'm going to do this and that tomorrow. Okay? Instead of saying, if the Lord is willing, I shall do this or that tomorrow. That gives the Lord, that tells the Lord that you are aware that in your tomorrow he is there. So if you choose to do this or that tomorrow, if it is not the Lord's will, your this and that will not come to pass. So if you want God to be a part of your this and that, you say it differently. You say, if the Lord is willing, this and that I shall do tomorrow. If the Lord is willing, this and that we shall do tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes and you accomplish this and that, you know that what? It was God's will. Okay? Let's take it here. A Song of Ascents of Solomon. Unless the Lord builds the house, its builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchman stands guard in vain. 2. In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves. So it's vain for you to be worried about anything. For those he loves, he cares after you. It is not vain for you to put it on his lap and then get a good night's sleep. Okay? Just whatever it is, put it on his lap and take a shower and go to sleep. Okay? Because that means you have laid it on his lap, you have left it alone, you will let God deal with it. Whatever it may be. Okay? Now that's not vain. But to sit up all night being concerned about this and that, that's vain. Alright? So it says, in vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves. Okay? Verse 3, 4, and 5 is yellow for family. Lo, children are an inheritance of the Lord. They are a blessing to their parents, but they are even more important to the Lord because they are his inheritance. Okay? Lo, children are an inheritance of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. Okay? So they mean more to God than they mean to you, their parents. Okay? Lo, children are inheritance of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. 4. As arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Okay? 5. Happy is the man that has his quiver full of them. So to have many children is a blessing. It says happy is the man that has his quiver full of children. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemy in the gates. Amen. They should be leaders. Amen. Hold on. Let's read it from 3 to 5. Sons are the inheritance from the Lord, children a reward from him. Okay, I like the way it's written here. Lo, children are inheritance of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. So they took out the fruit of the womb altogether and just ended up with a reward from him. Sons are inheritance from the Lord. Children are a reward from him. Okay? Lo, children are inheritance of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. These children belong to God. Okay? I don't like the way it's written here. Let's go to the next one. 4. Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are sons born in one's youth. 4. As arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. That's exactly right. Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are sons born in one's youth. 5. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be put to shame when they content with their enemies in the gate. Amen. That's the same thing. Happy is the man that has his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemy in the gates. Okay? Same thing. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be put to shame when they content with their enemies in the gate. Okay? When you content with your enemy, you're more of a leader than a follower. Followers don't content with their enemies, but leaders do. Okay, so try to remember that those beautiful little babies that come out of your womb mean more to God than they mean to you. And not only that, he loves them more than you will ever love them. In the same way that he loves us more than we love ourselves. So try to remember to take that which God has given you and put God back into that son or that daughter by teaching them the ways of God, the commandments of God. For it is God that has given you that precious child you love so much. Thank you very much for listening to us here at Spiritual Water. My name is Brenda Guerrero. And as always, may the peace of God be upon you. May the protection of God preserve thee. And may the will of God come from thee. Until the next time, enjoy this gorgeous day. Thank you for listening.